This is Steve Montgomery at Unheard of Guitar, and I was wondering if you'd ever heard this before. This is John Coltrane's Live at the Half Note. He plays I Want to Talk About You, Brasilia, Song of Praise, and One Up, One Down. So if you haven't heard it before, I'll let you hear a little bit of song. No, not Song of Praise, that's a great one. But the one that I'll let you hear is One Up, One Down. And I'll tell you why in just a second. And it looks like John Coltrane was able to play backwards according to this, but listen to it, you'll love it. And then, of course, he goes on to play an amazing solo like he always does. Um, the reason that helps me in a way to remember something for tuning in fourths and going back and forth between tuning in fourths and tuning in fifths, or excuse me, tuning in standard tuning, is the title of that song, One Up, One Down. So it's a very, very simple formula, like so. And I can show you examples later, but you can figure them out for your own self. For example, if you played a open D chord or a first position open G chord or E, anything down in the first through third fret, you can find out how this applies very simply. So here's the formula. If you're going from, yes, I'm reading this because I wrote it down a certain way. If you're going from fourth tuning to standard tuning, that moves everything that you play on the first and second strings up one fret or up one half step. So that's the one up or up one portion. So you can guess that the reverse is true. If you're going from standard tuning to fourth tuning, that moves everything you play on the first and second strings down one fret or down one half step. Now, you can think about that in another way. Is that I might have mentioned that in another one of these uploads. Is that you really, really do gain some things by this tuning. One is that you have all of your voicings and patterns and scales. Anything that you're going to play in the guitar is going to be uniformly the same across the fretboard. And so that's got all kinds of benefits. Uh, One of the things, though, that happens is that since everything is being moved down a fret towards the nut of the guitar, there may be some things that you used to have to reach in that direction that are now one fret further. And the thing that comes to mind right away is if you have a bit of a stretch chord that's looking something like that, where in standard tuning you'd have third string and second string barred right there. That would be a third, a major third. But in the fourth tuning, that's a fourth. So if I want to get a major third, I literally have to bend my finger another direction. In other words, that's a loss. I lose that voicing, which is a pity because you can get some really good sounds right there. On the other hand, if there's something that causes you to stretch up the fretboard like so to grab a note in your fourth finger, it's now, instead of that much of a stretch, is one fret closer because everything on this side up the fretboard has now come down one fret. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But just remember, up one, down one, and adios.